Welcome to Switch It Up.
We've switched it up and we're living out of suitcases.
And while we're living out of suitcases, we get to bring you some really neat experiential things as we're traveling to, well, yeah, we got to get this painted. So we're homeless.
However, on our route to get it painted, there's a cute little town that I've always wanted to check out because it's got some neat history. So I thought we would check out the town of Hannibal,
Missouri. So it's getting dark. So we're going to roll the intro and we'll see you tomorrow to start.
Well, I thought we were going to show them this cute little bed and breakfast, maybe.
Maybe.
That's where we're staying.
I guess we're rolling the intro and then we'll just see where you end up.
A man and a woman left their home to switch things up and go on the road. They didn't know where they would go, but it's gotta be better than staying home. They switched it up. They switched it up.
Oh, good morning. You hung out with us. We needed some sleep.
We did. But this is a super cute town. I see lots of little old houses all around.
We're going to go explore, but we're staying at the Belvedere Inn.
Yes.
Now, there's lots of bed and breakfast places here in town from what we've gathered.
Yeah. Looks like they've done a really good job of preserving the history of this area.
And they have over 800 guests a year stay at the Belvedere Inn. She has invited us over for breakfast this morning, so we'll go see the main house. And I guess he does these things where he does modifications or restorations. He's I guess a leader in this field.
Yeah, and I guess this actually is a school where people can come and learn how to restore
stuff.
Yeah, to its original. But this house, this part is beautiful. I can't wait to kind of take a look at the other house.
It's got like a living room and then there's rooms off of it, and it's separated from the main house, which that's where Pat's going to cook us breakfast this morning.
Yeah, there's like these two rooms. You can rent both those rooms together and then have this nice living room space. So very quaint, great antiques. The craftsmanship, like I really loved the shower this morning, like the lines and that are just perfect. It's great craftsmanship.
Okay, well, it's enough about where we slept last night. We really needed some sleep after 2 days of driving. We got another day of driving today, but before we do that, we're going to take a little tour around the town before we hit the road. Does that sound like a plan? Now, breakfast at Pat's. That could be like
at the Belvedere.
I know, but I think that could be a whole series in itself. The conversation she's had with 800 people from around the world, that's going to be fun. I can't wait to show you her house. Okay. Look at this room, Sheila. Oh, wow. This is cool.
Beautiful.
Yeah. There's so much charm in this little place. I would highly recommend this little, the beds are comfy too.
Oh my gosh, that's probably one of the most comfortable beds we've slept in a long time.
Look at that. It is winter. Since it's winter, there's no one really staying here. They say that these streets and everything are completely packed. But right now, I had to park down there, by the way. This is awesome. But look at this. I had to come out so you can see how they've remodeled and done all this.
This looks like this was at one time like let's go find out the history of that.
So we are on the Mississippi River, and there's actually, I guess, a lighthouse and everything here. We're not going to be here long enough to see everything.
No, but we can get a little taste of it to
come back.
See about coming back. It looks like the season really opens up. Like it's April to November. That's when like the riverboat cruises go, and
it gets super busy. There's another one for sale. Looks like they're going to do another.
That's pretty. There's so many. I have some friends that would geek out at this place. Yeah, school for hands-on preservation. Look at this little courtyard part of it.
Yeah, they've done a really good job.
Because it's got that side side patio. Ooh, that's a pretty porch.
Here they come.
Coming to say hello. Good morning. Good morning. Hi.
Look at all these trip advisors. Knock, knock.
Smells good. Good morning.
Wow. Isn't that amazing?
Look at the size of these doors.
I know. Coffee would be fabulous.
Okay, you have to come in here and pick them up.
All right, we're shooting video this morning. This is Pat. Pat's super excited. I told her we were shooting video.
Here. So you
Look at
have
all
to,
those mug options.
Oh.
so you have to pick a mug. That's your job. Here's coffee.
You get jobs when you come here?
Yeah, you get jobs.
I didn't know that. That was part of the experience.
Yeah, you don't have to clean though.
Okay, that's fair. That's
You don't
fair.
have to clean or do windows.
Okay,
But you have to pick your own mug.
pick the mug.
Downtown a little bit just to kind of see down there. We're excited to go down and explore today.
I think this is appropriate. Huckleberry
What is it?
Mount Air. Or Mayberry.
Hey,
Mayberry. We're gonna go there.
We're going there to do a video in May.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a weird little place.
It looks like, yeah.
For a piece of furniture.
Yeah, it's hard to capture because it's such a big space. You're not used to being in a
Well,
space.
there's
I love the
12 foot
cabinet.
and there's 12-foot ceilings too.
You said when you
so.
got this, it had drop ceilings in it?
Oh, drop ceilings and wallpaper on every square. This kitchen wasn't here. My husband made all of this. The rest of the rooms are original to how they actually were configured, but
Yeah.
Just the size of the doorways
Right.
is just
Yeah.
amazing to me.
well, you know, don't forget when they built these houses in like the 1800s, they didn't have air conditioning, so heat rises.
Yeah.
And then people forget that you have double hung windows, and double hung windows, the bottom sash comes up and the top sash comes down, and the hot air goes out the top sash and the cool air comes
Nobody
in.
ever used them that way, though.
Oh, yes, they did.
Well, I mean, then, not now.
Not now.
Not in our
No.
normal world
No,
that
no,
we're
not
in,
because,
right?
No, because we have air conditioning.
What do you have going here?
This is a stuffed pancake
What?
with apples.
Oh, Sheila, this might be one of your favorite dishes. You just don't know it.
I'm ready.
Oh, look at that. That is scrumptious looking. This is how she suckers you in to stay here for a while. This is now I know. Now I figured it out.
You know, you'd be nice to people and feed them. They tend to like you.
That's how she got all those awards on the door. It's amazing. This house is so cool. Not to mention they have a letter from Mark Twain. This is her desk area back here where she works. And she takes your reservations. Isn't this cool? A lot of times you go into like different places and you don't, it's like you don't get to feel like you live there. It's almost like a living museum.
It is, like, just even the detail in the, that is just, we don't do that anymore.
No. At least it's fairly nice out. Scrumptious breakfast, check. Now, while we have a little bit of time, not much, we're gonna run around this lovely little town to see. There's a steampunk festival they have every year. And I like steampunk stuff. That would be fun to come back to.
Well, even they do like a Tom and Huck, obviously Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn festival. That would be fun.
So every month she said there's like a festival starting in April. So you might want to check that out if you're coming this way. but so far, highly recommend the Belvedere Inn. We're on a walkabout, and we'll go on a drive about in a little bit. But Sheila keeps saying, I want to come down here and see this old building. We found out it used to be like an old federal courthouse, and now
The federal government still owns it.
yeah, and there's all this political stuff, and the city doesn't want to take ownership until they find somebody that would be willing to take it on. But it would make it perfect, like bed and breakfast, a
Make it
restaurant
great,
in the
like
bottom.
She was like, Pat was saying, and make a great boutique hotel. And
Oh, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
would be perfect.
So, oh, and looks like an old movie theater, the Rialto. It's a lighthouse up there. We are definitely the only ones walking around in the wintertime in Hannibal. We're definitely the touristy people right now. I will not.
The only ones with a camera.
Yeah, and I will not be walking up to that lighthouse because a lot of the stuff is closed, apparently, is what we found out. Where are we heading?
We are heading to. Let me make sure we're headed the right direction.
Oh.
Mark Twain Boyhood Home.
Oh, is it open?
Yeah,
All right
they
then.
kind of preserved the history of that. So we're gonna turn right and then turn left.
Okay. Let's hit you with some fun facts.
Oh boy.
Did you know one of many career choices that good old Mark Twain had? He was a steamboat captain.
Pilot. They call
Pilot.
it pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that. He was actually a very entrepreneurial person. He tried many different things.
Well, do you know his real name? Do you remember his real name?
Nah, no. Marky Mark?
Samuel Clemens.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
You know that part.
yeah, I knew that.
Okay. You knew that.
Yeah, I did. The fun part is though, I did not realize that in his steamboat, his first paycheck he got when he finally got certified was like $500, which back then had to be a boatload of money. I can't even imagine. And he did that for a while, but then he convinced his brother, was it Henry?
Henry.
That, hey, Henry, come with me. Come work on the steamboat. And he did. And unfortunately, the boiler blew up and Henry lost his life. And Mr. Twain regretted that decision for a long time. He carried around that. It's kind of sad part of the story, but I was not aware of this. Look at this. This is like
This is a cute little down.
cool.
I mean, we're the only people here. But they say that it is packed April to November.
I can see why.
There's so many things that we. Did you know?
Okay.
Fun fact that there's like these Mississippi River cruises that come up and down Mississippi, and this is one of the stops on the cruise. Now that would be a fun cruise to do.
Did you know that cauliflower is nothing more than a cabbage with a college education?
What? Things that make you go, what? What? Just so cool.
By far the best one I've seen.
What?
By far. Suppose you were an idiot, and suppose you were a member of Congress. But I repeat myself. Mark Twain. That is brilliant.
That's foreshadowing.
Wow. Yeah. Good
These
stuff.
buildings, you gotta look at these buildings.
Just look at it.
It's just cool.
Just look at it. I can see why this would be like a travel spot for people from St. Louis and people coming up to do something, because it does have a lot of charm. You didn't know this, but these were the early portraits of Bigfoot. The natives, they carved them out. You can see Bigfoot carried a big stick. So you know. The bears and the alien, that's a whole nother story. I can't really go through that. There's a lot of history here. Look at you being a tourist right now.
Who's the one with the camera?
This one says, get a bicycle, you will not regret it if you live. Mark Twain. I want to rewrite it to, get an RV, you will not regret it if you live. Mark Twain, aka person copying, said saying, 𝗏𝐁𝐿𝐿. She was leaving me. She does that a lot. This is a good winter break. We should do more like winter tours when there's no one else around.
Well, the disadvantage is I don't get to see all the things.
Oh, that's
I get
true.
To see everything that I want to come back and see.
Yeah, that's true.
But there is nobody here. We got to go this way.
Tom Sawyer's fence. Do you think... Wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Do you think that's true? Do you think this is the actual fence Tom Sawyer persuaded his gang to, you know...
Well, the cave. Did you know the cave is just right up where Huck and Tom hung out?
No, but...
We could go to the cave, Todd. I know how you
Man,
like
I
caves.
hate caves.
It's
Well,
way
I don't
too-
mind caves. I don't like what you do to me in caves. Like, you make me crawl through things, and it's cold.
I don't think people understand. Like, look, there's no... The camera doesn't do it justice. There's no room. Like, I can't even set the camera up.
I'll get it on my way. All right, here you want to take my picture?
Yeah, hold on. Oh, are you me right now? No. Oh, no. It's a dead end. It's a freaking dead end. This is not even funny. We did all that for nothing?
There's no way out.
This is a dead end.
Like, look for a hidden door compartment thing to turn on the wall, you know, like Indiana Jones.
Sheila, we did all that for nothing. Nothing.
We have to do it again.
I am so upset right
It's
now.
probably too cold for the cave now, but we'll have to come back. Look, there's Becky Thatcher's house. Let's get a ticket first.
You think Becky really lived there?
Well, they just put up a sign that says Becky Thatcher's house for grins and giggles?
Well, I mean, if it was Todd history, they would.
Well, thank the Lord that the whole country doesn't work off of Todd history.
There's Justice of the Peace. Right there. And Becky Thatcher's home. Okay.
Let's get a ticket.
A ticket.
In this house, Samuel Clemens, small town American boy in the 1850s. See, he turned the people, the places, and the events of his childhood into a story. His friend was Tom and Becky.
There was an old wives' tale that said that later on, Tom, aka Mark Twain, I also became Colonel Sanders.
What?
Well, I mean, that's...
Stop.
Well, I think there's a conspiracy theory.
No, stop.
I think there's a conspiracy theory that Colonel Sanders was
No.
actually...
You're just making crap
No,
up.
I'm not.
Yes,
I'm thinking.
you're not.
I mean, forget the hundreds of years in between the two. I mean, but I
You
just...
don't stop making stuff up. I'm going to make you walk through that lighthouse.
I'm not going to that lighthouse.
Well, look, there's a statue of Tuck and Tom.
Oh,
There's a bell.
I'm not walking those stairs.
Look at- how
There's
many
about...
stairs do you think?
There's a lot of stairs. I'm not doing that.
You could count them.
I'm not. I'll ask that guy coming down how many he walked.
Yeah.
I was debating whether you were an adult, a senior, or a student, or 5 and under.
You're
But she wouldn't tell
funny.
me.
You're a funny man.
She didn't tell me what was on the other side of the door. She just thought that I was calling her
I heard
senior.
there's a conspiracy. The conspiracy is that Mark Twain was actually Colonel Sanders.
Oh my God.
That's what we're here to find out.
Okay, well, I think you'll find different. 2 adult and 20.
Just round that to even 30 then?
Sure you can. Thank you very much. And I'll show you how to get from building to building.
Okay.
That puts a big perspective of how many riverboats were running.
Oh
Look
my
at that.
goodness,
That is
look at that. They're all
cra-
parked in
crazy.
there like cars.
Yeah. Yeah, so here's all of his jobs. He was riverboat pilot, silver mining. That failed. We'll talk about that in a little while.
Then he went back to doing more
Look at that. Then
typesetting.
he toured. Remember when he toured the Mediterranean?
Right.
Traveled to Hawaii. Fun fact: Hawaii used to be called the Sandwich Islands. Didn't know that.
Huh. That's so funny.
Published the Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
1876. Wow.
Live and travel in Europe. Remember, his family was sick.
But look at this. Goes bankrupt. We're going to talk about that because this is crazy. So then he had to figure out how to pay back the bills. So he went back to going around the world lecturing.
He lectured just to repay the debts that he had. Came back in Hannibal in 1902.
Yeah, last time for his visit. And that's when he became Colonel Sanders. Right here. That's when.
There's a resemblance.
I'm telling you.
It's not even the same time
Well, I
frame.
mean, I don't know when Colonel Sanders lived.
Oh my gosh.
But look at it.
Look at
him.
Look,
That's Colonel Sanders all
there
day.
he is right here. On his last visit to Hannibal. That house is still out there.
Yeah. The ultimate question. Was Tom Sawyer Mark Twain? And is Mark Twain Samuel Clemens? That's where it gets confusing. Many of Tom Sawyer's escapades were based on Twain's own boyhood. So Twain expressed his moods and character through many of the people in his novels. So, did that clear it up?
Okay. You could do what Mark Twain did.
I could.
Right? Because he transformed his memories of his life into like this fun, fictional story. And that would just be Todd's fun facts.
Yeah, or Todd history.
It's the same thing.
So you're saying I'm like Mark Twain?
Okay, let's not.
All right, come on, let's keep looking. We only have a little longer here in town before we have to leave.
I know, and there's so much to see. This is gonna make the comeback list.
Okay.
Okay.
Steampunk? When steampunk happens?
Continue here to go see the home.
Okay.
Please visit first Huckleberry Finn's house. Okay, let's go to Huck Finn.
So Huck Finn's house got, I think, destroyed or something was wrong with it. So they rebuilt it, replicated it back to the way it was. It's kind of cool though how close they were to like the river. Like literally the river's right there, and then you have the lighthouse up there. So I feel like I'm watching like it kind of feels like the Goonies movie. Like he had all these different friends in different areas, and they had a town, and they went on adventures and went into caves.
There's a huge difference
Between Goonies and Mark Twain?
Yeah, one actually happened. This is like Mark Twain just wrote of the history of his life, and
right?
Just changed the name.
That's fair.
Okay, the Goonies was just.
Well, some of us really like the movie Goonies. We visited there too.
I feel tall in here.
Yeah. I feel tall. Oh, look at that. That's a small house.
How many children did they say?
I don't know.
6?
Wow. There it is. Home of Huck Finn. That's cool. It was
Tom
Blankenship.
Tom Blankenship was
Huck Finn.
Huck Finn, and that was his friend. But
So, yeah.
They're
So
just-
here's the boats coming in. You have the street, and then there's Huck's house. There's Becky's house, boyhood home. I'm telling you, this has the makings of the Goonies movie. Like everyone's hanging out together.
it has the makings of a book called Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
It does that. It does that too. I don't know, it kind of puts it all in perspective. Like growing up when you're a kid and you were looking at the books and stuff.
Well, now it makes you maybe want to
I-
reread the book. I don't think
I
I've read the
kinda
book
do.
since like 6th grade.
I kind of do. Like this is
But I think
kind
the
of cool.
Adventures of Tom Sawyer came before the book of Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
Yeah, I don't know. We're not very good
And Tom-
tour people.
They already know that. Tom Sawyer, though, who did we determine Tom Sawyer was?
Well, it's all debatable.
Is that Mark Twain?
Yeah. Or Samuel Clemens. Just like he's got 3 aliases. He had an identity crisis, I think. Okay, down here, we're going to Mark Twain's boyhood home.
Home was fully restored in 1990.
Huh. Oh boy. By the way, our other camera died, so we're GoProing it now. Sorry if the audio is a little funky. Ooh.
This was the first.
You're about to enter the Mark Twain boyhood home. Young Sam Clemens, the future Mark Twain, lived here with his family from 1843 until 1853. Escapades from that time led to many incidents in the adventures of Tom Sawyer. The house itself is Aunt Polly's house in the book. The first room you will enter is the dining room.
Huh.
Here Tom Sawyer took the dreaded painkiller medicine in the story and once fed some to Peter, the family cat, with dramatic results. Peter tore around the room and jumped out a window.
Sounds like a normal kid. Oh wow. It's like we're walking right into a
It's history.
history. Interesting. It's not a very big house. I like this handle. Look at that handle. Oh, look at that. Huh. So, we did realize this is actually her house. So that's kind of neat.
Becky Thatcher. What was her real name? Laura?
I don't know.
I think he told us.
This is just neat though.
Justice of the Peace and store. Great store.
Thank you so much.
What? Look at this. I think I found another conspiracy.
Oh no.
Becky Thatcher looks like she was from Wizard of Oz. Look at. If you just put a Toto in her hand, do you see? I think we're living in an alternate universe.
Okay, her name was Laura.
Yeah. Laura Hawkins.
Did you know, fun fact, how they met? It says over there.
Yeah.
He was doing backflips and hit her in the head.
Oh.
Kicked her in the head.
That's kind of similar to our love story.
It's pretty darn close.
We'll have to share that someday. Okay, this is the law office
Where his
where his
dad.
dad worked. Huh. Pretty simple.
Well, didn't the guy tell us that this is the one where
He was sleeping in here.
he skipped school
Yeah,
and then there was a murder that happened and they threw the body
in here.
in here and he was in here skipping school and he jumped out the window because he didn't want to be with the dead body. It's
Well,
pretty traumatic.
I can understand. But it is pretty simple. There's a... Oh, I hear TV's coming on.
With the corners of the mouth drawn down and the eyes fixed and glassy in death. I raised to a sitting position and glowered on that corpse. I went away from there. I do not say that I went away in any sort of hurry, but I simply went. That is sufficient. I went out at the window and I carried the sash along with me. I did not need the sash, but it was handier to take it than it was to leave it, so I took it. I was not scared, but I was considerably agitated. When I reached home, they whipped me, but I enjoyed it. It seemed perfectly delightful. That man had been stabbed near the office that afternoon. I have slept in the same room with him often since then, in my dreams.
Bum, bum.
He was there and they under the panic when the cry of fire rang out. Everyone started for the entrance, and then the rough lady's skirt.
Many ways of death. You get to choose your fate.
Measles,
Fire.
poisoning.
Your teeth falling out.
Carriage, a team of horses get spooks and runs you over. Like
Childbirth. Typhoid.
Yellow fever. I mean,
There's some winners. There's a few.
very small.
There's a
Very
few
small.
winners. The wheel of misfortune.
It was
It's a tough life.
yeah.
I think what I'm really enjoying is it does feel like you walk out of the drugstore here and then you look right across the street and you feel like you're still on that time period.
Yeah.
Like they've done an amazing job just keeping it the way it was.
Yeah, reading like all the, like even across the street, that's a whole maintained historical. What's that one say? 1869.
Yeah. It is pretty amazing. This was never on my list. Sheila said, well, we were coming this way. She goes, let's stop by. I'm glad we did. I heard that there's about 3 bed and breakfasts still in existence, and there's like 40 or 50 different Airbnbs downtown.
There's a couple of hotels, but there's some fun things that, oh gosh, I really want to drive by. Maybe at least we can drive by. It's not open right now, but there's a mansion on the hill that you can do a house tour of. It's just not open until April. But
all right, we gotta make our way back so we can hit the road again.
yeah, do you want to walk down a block? Let's go to the river. Look at the riverboat.
Okay. I do have a question. Who are the people like living now in today's world that are leaving these types of legacies?
Huh.
Does that make sense?
Well, I think even though if you think about it, like when Mark Twain was Tom Sawyer, or
Yeah.
and they didn't think that at that time that was going to be history. So I
Right, but who, like in today's society, in today's world, who are the people, like you see all these people when we travel and we do all the history stuff, who are the people that you think are in the last 5 to 10 years that you feel are making that kind of an impact where people are...
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I don't think that you know that you're making an impact until you're all like it's after the fact. You don't know.
Yeah. I think like an Elon Musk is making a change though. Like you can watch it happening.
That's true, like in the technology space. And I guess, I mean, if you think about it, same thing with, you know, computers with Bill Gates and
Yeah, I mean,
Jeff with Amazon. Those are people that are changing how we do life, but I don't know about like the day-to-day
stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, let's do a fun fact. Another one. So, fun fact. Did you know
Oh boy.
that Mark Twain was such a huge entrepreneurial thing? He sunk all of his money into this fancy typesetting deal. Like, he was like, we're gonna do this thing, and it was to the tune of how many hundreds or...
It's like $300,000, which would be like almost $2 million in today's money.
Was it 2 or 10? It was an atrocious amount in the money
In
of that time
frame, yep.
And they lost everything. They had to declare bankruptcy. And then he was like, well, I don't know what to do. So he rebuilt himself, went on tour around the world doing speaking engagements to pay everybody back.
Yes.
I think that's fabulous. Like,
It's
I didn't know that
sold
part.
out for an idea.
Yeah. Crazy, because what happened is his idea on the typesetting thing got taken over by lithography, which was faster in the printing process.
Well, yeah, then all those silly little letters one letter at a time. That'd take forever.
Yeah, so isn't that fun? Come on now. That's not Todd history, that's real. That was a really cool thing, little nugget to learn. So all the different businesses and things that he did. Okay. We're gonna head down here and then we're probably off for the day.
Well, I still want to see if we can drive by the mansion.
Oh.
See if we can see it.
Okay.
All right.
Don't know. Looks like basically tugboats or barge boats. This is a good place to conclude our winter time stopover.
And Hannibal, Missouri has definitely made my comeback list. There's great shops that I want to check out. The riverboat, there's a riverboat cruise. We need to go to the cave.
There's so much in the middle of Mississippi. And the funny part is no matter how much time has gone by, the Mississippi has still been the same. That's the weird. All the history that's happened on this river is pretty neat.
There's just this little town just right here. It's worth checking out.
Maybe in a little warmer temperatures.
Oh, there is an RV park for those of you that are RVers. It's called the Mark Twain Cave Campground. Yep.
We haven't looked at it.
But it's because it's by the cave and we want to go check it out.
Because we were looking at coming back. So
yeah,
good stuff. Hope you enjoyed this little stopover, little history tour.
Put it on your list.
But we've been talking now. We were thinking it'd be kind of cool to do like a riverboat cruise, like down the river, because this is one of the stopovers, and I don't think I've seen too many people do it.
That'd be fun. We could add that to the list. Yeah. Who wants to come with us?
So until next time, is this it? Good morning. I think we're out.
I didn't have to say it that time. Look at this old wall going up to that mansion up there.
What's the mansion?
That Rockcliffe Mansion. I don't know the complete history of it, but it does tours. But that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Am I not going to get to see it from the street because of this giant?
That's where they do rock climbing classes.
No wonder it's called the Rockcliffe Mansion. It's on a. Hopefully, I can see it up this corner here. Okay, if you're into like the 1850 period homes, this town has a plethora of them. They're beautiful, and there's so many of them that are for sale that you could restore.
Wow.
Look at that.
That is cool.
Yeah. Look at that hill over there. Like,
I know.
for goodness sakes, I hope we're not going up that.
We turn